Do you want to hear from the author of this episode? Join us on Patreon for bonus author interviews and exclusive content. You'll get to see behind the scenes of Midwest Weird, and you'll be supporting writers and creators as they continue to make weird and exciting work. Sign up at patreon.com/broadsandbooksproductions. Find that link in the show notes. This is Midwest Weird, an audio literary magazine from Broads and Books Productions. We're the home of weird fiction and nonfiction by Midwestern writers. Today's episode, The Shape of Her Life by E.F. Schraeder. Read by the Midwest Weird team.
Cora pulled out a membership card. Grateful it bore no photo, and swiped. The glass doors to the gym whooshed open. CoreFit had been open for 3 months, and Jen, her once pudgy best friend, lost 20 pounds in 7 weeks. What a way to beat the freshman 15. She glanced away from the bright reflections, mortified by the hall of floor-to-ceiling mirrors. Fluorescent lights are evil. Focus on the goal. Get fit. Get perfect. Get core fit. She'd yell at Jen later for skimming over the harsh lights and mirrors. No thumping music, no televisions. The place was quiet. Eerily so. Maybe silence was the result of a gym with virtually enhanced routines. In the main workout area, Cora eyed herself for a moment, doing exactly what she hated doing, scanning for flaws. Not that she hated herself, but she knew she had to change. Only 3 steps in, and she couldn't resist eyeing her hips, the curves of her stomach. This was why she hated mirrors. What woman didn't? She clucked her tongue in disapproval. At least it's empty. No matter how many affirmations and inspiring books she read about embracing her whole self, her body remained a project. Everywhere she looked, she saw a list of things to fix. Like the Bride of Frankenstein, Cora was a work in progress. Damn that Jen for getting her body right. She had the nerve to reveal she'd reached her goal weight at lunch, of all places. That was just mean. First, Jen stood up and posed like she was about to do a mic drop. Then she peeled off the oversized sweater and revealed a skin-tight black t-shirt. She cinched her hands at the waist and pursed her lips in a classic selfie pout. What do you think? Jen knew exactly what they thought. She twirled around so everyone at the table could see the results. Skinny Jen, pretty Jen, better than you, Jen. The moment sent Cora into shock and seared into her memory. Jen had no bulges, no pudge, no flab, no sag. She was perfect. Holy Batgirl, Stacy said. She kicked Cora under the table. Wow, you look wow. How'd you do it? Cora bit down on her lip, trying to stop herself from sounding too jealous. But she'd pay anything to get a body that tight. Everyone would want her now. A run in the woods does wonders, and well, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, Jen said. A strange look flashed on her face. Cora's eyes sank onto her fruit plate. She pushed the food away. Pretending not to be hungry was a full-time job. How could Jen do this at lunch? Cora swallowed some water and imagined feeling full. Cora's empty stomach burned, writhing with acid, digesting itself. It was a familiar feeling. It's this amazing virtual reality workout at CoreFit. Have you ever heard about them? They use gaming tech. You work out harder than ever. Jen stared at her friends, winking, prodding them, and daring them to outdo her. Stacy smiled. Good for you. I'd practically kill for a body like that, Cora said. She dropped her head in her hands. Jen's eyes glinted. But would you die for it? She poked Stacy in the arm. Cora pulled a face. If CoreFit was for real, she had to try. Wow, girl. Stacy stuffed a fistful of fries into her mouth. Just no. The baby fat melts off, Jen said. She posed again. You won't believe it. It'll change your life. Well, it changed mine anyway. I've never felt better. That night, that's what Cora told her parents, begging them to pay for it. I really need this. I can't pay for it on top of tuition. I don't want more talk therapy or boring Weight Watchers. It's all just whatever. The whole process is exhausting. CoreFit promises real change. Cora's parents pulled up CoreFit's website while their daughter rambled, suspicious of another gimmick, that Jen's results were just a fluke. CoreFit worked miracles on Jen, and her parents paid for the membership. This technology will define the future of self-improvement. At least that's what their website says. Her parents said nothing. I'll finally get into the shape I want. Jen said she's in the best shape of her life. She's 22. Cora's mom shook her head. Will you sign me up? Her mother sighed, and her father groaned. They were nervous about agreeing, nervous it'd spark a relapse into obsessive behaviors, another breakdown, or worse. Honey, you're beautiful. Can't you see you're good enough the way you are? Not good enough to date anyone hot. Cora, that's ridiculous. Society's beauty standards are out of line with reality. So you basically want me to fail forever. Cora's parents clicked into CoreFit's stats, impressed that the technology monitored everything from heart rates to cortisol levels and synced to optimize performance. Better yet, progress was monitored by a staff specialist. CoreFit wasn't some one-size-fits-all boot camp. CoreFit delivers, guaranteed. Maybe this will be good for you, honey, Mom said. Get you into a routine. Maybe you'll learn to enjoy it, Dad smiled. Cora's parents bought a 6-month membership within 24 hours. Inside CoreFit, Cora frowned. God, it's so bright in here. Jen showed off her CoreFit success, but damn her, she left out the cruel details of the mirrors. Jen knew how Cora felt, probably exactly how a lot of young women felt about mirrors. Like they were accidents you couldn't look away from. Then again, Jen never said a word about the workouts. Cora tried not to stare at herself and made her way toward the whirring sound of cardio equipment. Cora took in a deep breath and then exhaled hard. Another pair of automatic doors opened to a gigantic space. Only one other person in a pair of dark sweats pounded on a treadmill across the room. Jen said the machines linked into some kind of medical monitors or something, customizing workouts to meet optimal goals. Cora was glad to be almost alone for her first try, in case she bombed. I'll give it my all. Cora plugged a VR headset into the treadmill. She typed in her age. A mechanical arm unlocked from a gear and swung behind her. Cora stood straight up while it measured her height. The arm cranked to one side and hovered at forehead level. Cora turned her head as a blinding white pulse of light arced into her eyes. A second armed whirred into place and landed a metal finger-like apparatus at her wrist. What the? Cora froze, nervous. She hadn't expected it to be so intimate. The smell of lemon cleanser and air freshener mingled with sweat, providing a clean and fresh sense of comfort. But something about it stung her senses. This was just a gym, but the place was empty as a graveyard. Cora faced the monitor. The screen before her blinked bright white. Numbers whirred on screen like a slot machine, calculating her measurements. A voice came from the speaker. Please select your regimen: trail run, indoor track, outdoor marathon. Alone in the woods sounded good, like Jen. Trail run. Everything darkened. Run, a low voice from behind her said. Cora gasped. Run now, it said. It was so real, Cora swore she felt hot breath on the back of her neck. She ran. The sound of crunching leaves and pounding footsteps thudded in Cora's ears. The scent of pine, maybe the faint hint of a campfire. senses flooded with images of a lush forest and wooded trail. She found a steady rhythm. Then another sound. Screams, shrill and piercing. "Get away, he's coming," a woman yelled. Terror clenched in Cora's heart. She strained to look around, but saw only the trail, cracked mud, dry leaves. "If he gets you, he'll..." The voice trailed. The flailing, muffled chaos of noise throttled Cora's ears, screams, breaking branches, ripping fabric. Cora shut her eyes tight, but it didn't matter. The attack invaded her ears, her brain, her very core. "Hold still, you little..." Then a punch, a grunt, then a panting, frothy mess of sounds Cora didn't want to hear. Tears flooded Cora's eyes as she ran. What else could she do? The sound of a flat palm against skin, shredded fabric, scraping noises, a body against rough tree bark, a plunging sound, fists meeting soft, bruising skin, sobbing. She didn't want to know what she heard, but she knew. The sound of a body giving up. Cora ran harder. Maybe there was a way out. This wasn't real. It was just awful. Her feet plodded, pushing harder. Anything to escape. The silence that followed was worse than anything she could have imagined. Cora quickened, heartbeat speeding to an unsustainable pace. Her muscles clenched, legs ached, but she pushed anything to make it stop. "You're next," he yelled, and then he laughed. Adrenaline spiked. Cora sprinted. Who knows for how long? Tears streamed down her face as she ran for her life. Sweat poured from every pore. "Your workout has ended," a voice said. "Prepare for cool down." The treadmill hummed and slowed. Cora's legs trembled, and the mechanical arm pushed the base of her back. A wave of nausea passed as Cora transitioned to a stumbling walk. Her heart stung and ached like it burst. She clutched her side, panting. "Congratulations, you've burned 850 calories, the voice said. Cora's eyes readjusted to the light. The arms clicked open as the treadmill stopped. Her heart raced and sweat poured down her sides, soaking her top. She stepped off the machine and looked around. She dabbed her face and neck with the hem of her sleeve. Cora caught herself in the full-length mirror. She bit down on her lower lip, her eyes fixated on the contours of her shape. Once the terror faded, she didn't look half bad. She wasn't thinner, no, of course not yet, but something had happened. She wasn't quite sure what she wanted to be, but perhaps she was a little better for the effort. Stronger, or maybe just tougher? Her face gleamed, flushed from the exertion. Custom workout, my ass, I was terrified. You look great, a low voice came from across the room. Cora looked up and found a man staring at her reflection. He grinned at her with the open-mouthed panting of someone who just had the best run of his life. He was 10 years older than her, maybe more, a little overweight. His cheeks were dark pink and chest heaving. He adjusted the waist of his pants with one hand and waved at her with the other. Works you down to the core, doesn't it? He thrummed both hands at his sides, still staring, still smiling. Cora tensed at the faintly familiar voice. A sort of better to eat you with smile played on his face. Something about it stuck to her skin. Cora, still silent, recalled the man from the woods. She didn't want it to be true. It couldn't be. His expression tightened, and he winked. I know it's tough, but you'll get used to it.
E.F. Schraeder is a Rhysling and Pushcart nominated poet. Schraeder is author of The Price of a Small Hot Fire from Raw Dog Screaming Press, What Happened Was Impossible from Ghoulish Books, and several other works. Schraeder's creative work in nonfiction has appeared in Mystery Weekly magazine, Ghoulish Tales, Vastarien, and other journals and anthologies. They believe in ghosts, magic, and dogs, and hold an advanced degree in library science and PhD in ethics. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more weird stories. If you like what you hear and would like to support writers of weird stories, check out our Patreon. You'll get bonus episodes and more. View the link in our show notes. Big thanks to our current supporters on Patreon, especially those at the Make Me Famous level, including Haley Scarpino, Nick Thornton, Daniela Barzallo, Matthew Serbach, Last Name Greatest, and Dawn Burns. If you want your fiction or nonfiction to appear in Midwest Weird, send us your work. Read the show notes for a submission link. Thanks for joining us, and stay weird.